Yes, Shalom. Yahweh Shemeshah Brakatah.
Shalom, Yahweh Shemeshah.
All right. But we experienced some technical difficulties a while ago, but we are now currently back up and running. All right. So we will just read back through the first two verses pretty quickly, and then we'll continue. All right. So you can start back from Deuteronomy 28 and 1.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments.
All right. So the scripture says, if thou shalt hearken diligently to observe and to do all his commandments, right? Earlier, we discussed that diligently is giving your best or earnest effort, right? And it is not standing by the wayside, observing, understand, but it is actually, when it says observe to do, meaning that you must commit the action, you must apply it, right? Continue.
Okay. To observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day.
All right. So that was the Most High speaking through Moses, right? Setting up the children of Israel to start to set up a nation, right? A nation with laws, statutes, and commandments, right?
Okay.
All right. And read the last part.
Okay. That the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
All right. So the Most High is saying to Moses that if we keep the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God, that he will set us above all nations of the earth, right? So all nations means above the Chinese and the Japanese and the Syrians and the East Indians and the Edomites, right? We'll be above all nations on the earth, right? And we'll not only just be above just for saying be above, but we'll be above in economic might, in political might, in have a better social structure, right? So and even we will retain or regain our military might, right, upon the face of the earth. So you could go into Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. Verse 15, sorry.
Okay. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
All right. So the scripture say, if we don't hearken diligently, if we do not listen to the Most High, that all these curses, right? Earlier we discussed that the curses is the punishments, right? So all these punishments will come upon thee and will overtake thee, right? It will consume you, right? And all we try to run, whatever country you try to go to, and understand, if you move out from one house to the next, the curses will consume you, right? You will continue to function in that condition if you don't follow the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High.
Okay.
All right? So you could continue on to verse 16.
Verse 16. Cursed shall thou be in the city.
All right. The scripture says, cursed shall thou be in the city. Right? What are some of the ways that you can be cursed in the city?
Yeah, so like I said,
remember, curses are punishment, right?
Maybe police brutality, black and black crime.
Yeah. Like when coming to businesses, you have to go to all the other nations for everything. The more or less you working for them. And them not working for you.
Come on. So you're literally dependent on them.
Yeah,
Go ahead. Supervisor.
Something else, something else we shall see in terms of businesses, you will notice that when you go through the city, all the big businesses on them run by the heathens, and the businesses is usually like on little wooden tables at the side.
Yeah, we businesses is usually at the lower end.
Yeah.
Right. Come on. All right. Curse curse shall, read about it, the first part again of Yakal.
Curse shall thou be in the city.
All right, they say curse shall thou be in the city. So in the city, as where we will find all the drug dealers and where all these prevalent abortion signs and abortion clinics will be set up. You understand? Ready to make our women abort their babies. All right. Violence will be found in the city, jail time in the city, death and destruction in the city. Right. All these things will be found in the city. Right. These are the punishments. Right. When we don't obey the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, these things will face us. Right. Understand? Because we will continue to walk without guidance. All right. Continue.
Verse 17. Curse shall thou.
Salakia. Read the last part of verse 16.
Curse shall thou be in the field.
All right, and it also says, curse shall thou be in the field. Understand? When we look at, like, for instance, in Trinidad, right? Usually they will have these big farming programs. There will be seed printed in the papers, right? And we know would apply to go to these places, right? Whether it be Canada or Europe, wherever, to pick apple and wherever, right? When we go to these places, right? We would pick and harvest all the crops, all the different food types, right? Let me say going to pick apple, you package all the apple, right? Are these products going to us? Right? So who would these products go to? Go ahead, Officer.
Yeah, these go to the heathens.
Right?
And the best go to the heathens.
Come on. Anybody else?
So like, yeah, the same example like with the table again in Trinidad, when you look, you will see the Elamites and them had large farms and them set up.
Right.
While we people might just have a little peach tree.
Right.
Behind the house.
Yeah, and usually we will be working on their farms.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, where Officer Matpaya?
It will go to the taskmaster or slave master.
Come on, right? So it will go to the elite, all the 5-star restaurants and resorts, right? They will collect the best food, right? That our people work hard in the field, sun up to sundown, right? To produce, right? And they eat it, and we get basically the end products. The Mexicans eat something called chitlins, right? Which is basically pig intestines, right? Or animal intestines, right? And they would fry up that and make it into a meal, right? So when I say curse shall be in the field, not even what we produce, right? We would be able to partake of, right? And also when it also says curse shall be in the field, we don't own any land or any mass amount of land where we could say, all right, but we're going to plant for our people, for our nation. You understand? Right? If you have a acre, yeah, let's say thank the Most High, and it could go anytime. Right? Yeah, go ahead. Officer Tazo.
Also, sometimes when you have property and you have certain things, but still, because you don't have association to protect us as a nation.
That's right.
You have military might.
That's right.
You have economic structure. You have the protection to when we even buy stuff to invest. They're going to give us fake seeds and different things. They're going to cheat us out of what it is we come to try and put together, like how they did Wall Street.
Come on.
And other things, you know?
Come on. All right. And that is an excellent example, right? Because even as well, right? If I could add to that, let's say you have like a piece of land, right? Like here in Trinidad, you will have some people will have what is called like the deed of comfort, and other people will have land ownership deeds, right?
Yeah.
Let me say the government was to decide to build a highway, and the highway is passing through your village, right? Now they will take it through the process, they carry it through the court process and whatnot, right? But eventually you will have to move, right? And they use the quote unquote nice term called relocation, right? So quote unquote, as a people, because we don't have a literal nation, right, to depend on or to fortify us, right? When these things happen, we have to move. So regardless, if you have rights or proper ownership to your land, these mega projects will override your little piece of paper. Right? So we don't really own land to say we own land, because any major project come, they could just push you out the way. And when they relocate you, well, you're looking to go to less property, because wherever they're going to put you, you know, like they set up these housing schemes, right? And they have all the housing schemes, and these people were relocated from one area to the next, right? And usually now they would say, right, well, your land value, let me say 200,000, and let me say the pay you the 200,000, right? Because now you move from your land ownership, they get 200,000, they get a smaller plot of land with a house, so you're feeling, well, I get through. And I understand it's like, well, I get something, right? But as our nation so low, right, in the world sphere, when you have this money, who the money going back to? Well, Officer Matpaya?
Again, the oppressors.
That's right. You understand? So even though, and most times people don't really get the real value of the land they own. But let me say, if you do get the real value of the land they own, because your nation is not in power, all that money will spend back in clothes, food, shelter, and will go immediately back to all the different nations, right? All the Assyrians and all who produce clothing and material and building material and housing material and all these different material, cars and mortgages and rents and these kind of things. All that money will go back to that nation. Understand? So you're literally cursing the field, right? Go ahead, officer.
And dancing examples.
Yeah, classic examples. And I say Bhagwan Singh is one of the biggest material what is it called, hardware or supply store in Trinidad. You understand? And they literally control a very large percentage of all the building materials, right? When supplying Trinidad contractors. Well,
So that's on a side note. The other day I was watching an article and they was saying the richest woman is Miss Bhagwan Singh. The wife of the owner of Bhagwan Singh.
Yeah, I remember seeing that article. You understand? So the heathens get wealthy off of us, right? Because we are at the bottom and we literally have to depend on them for everything. Go ahead, Officer Yakai.
If I may, even as you're saying this, some heavy points come around. Even Officer Tanzo brought up the point earlier on about, the part of the farming, where,
Officer Matwell. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, Officer Yakai.
Yeah, where even the amount of power that these people have, right? And us, we being defenseless as a nation, because we don't have anybody to depend on. You see how they can easily overpower us, no matter where we are, no matter what status you have. And you see where what we call white supremacy, just come in and take over everything.
Yeah.
You have white supremacy through the Chinese, through the East Indians,
that's correct.
Other nation, that white supremacy, just coming up. And talking about the farming, you see, there was also an article recently where they had black farmers, where the seed company, they had to sue the seed company because they will have farmers like black farmers and white farmers next door. The company was deliberately selling the black farmers fake seeds.
Look at that.
So that when they plant, they will not produce and they go bankrupt. And those same white farmers will come and buy up all the land because the black farmers go bankrupt.
You can understand? And that's a classic example why the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. All right. So from there, it continues to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 32.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
All right. So it says, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given to another people. All right. How do we give away our sons and daughters to another people? Where of that as well?
If I may, sir, one of the ways on them is because you have the ability to formulate a syllabus and a teaching system for our children. They have been indoctrinated and raised in the ways of white supremacy and every other way that breaks down the moral standard of who they are, the identity of other people. So that's one of the ways that we give away our children.
Come on.
All right? Because we don't have that protection mechanism to guide their minds into wisdom of what they're supposed to go.
Come on. So we have to send them to the white man's schools and institutions and stuff like that.
Okay.
All right? Anybody else?
Like I said, coming after that,
yeah, continue.
And by force. Because if they don't send them now, they claim it as declared. Again, the white man, the deceiver, he's definitely mean.
Yeah.
He set up, he put laws in place that shock us as a people.
Yeah, to force your children into their institutions.
That's right.
Come on. Anybody else?
So like I said,
Well,
even when you look back at history, even during the slavery period, part of the funding of slavery where our children and babies were literally taken away when they were born from one plantation and sold to another plantation. They were literally taken away. And even now, in this time, you're seeing where there's a what we call it the pipeline,
right,
where our sons or daughters go from school straight to prison.
True.
The system is set up. Penalties are harsher. The harsher jail time and things for the most simple crimes, and also abortion is something that they really take away our babies.
Yeah. And that's an excellent point you all bring there, right? Right? Through the Atlantic slave trade, right? We literally we were kidnapped. You understand? Our sons and daughters were ripped away from us. You understand? Right? And sent into slavery, right? Through the Atlantic slave trade, right? Another point is too. It had a recent article. I don't know if you all can remember with the Venezuelans, right? Who came over here looking for work. You understand? After as they are currently going through the crisis in Venezuela, right? And when they came into Trinidad looking for work, you understand? And they were promised good jobs and betterment for life, you understand? So the parents decided, you understand, all they go to Trinidad, all they might experience a better life. And when they come in Trinidad, you understand, they end up falling victim to prostitution by the Chinese. You understand where I'm from? Right? How much the say it was? A good bit of them fine in a Chinese restaurant.
So like I said, 19 girls.
All right, 19 girls found in a Chinese restaurant, and they use the restaurant as a front. Understand? And committing prostitution, right? And these were Venezuelans or the I.S.U.P.K brothers and sisters. Understand?
So like I said, if I think all these girls were under 18 years old.
You understand? So they taken advantage, right, of our sons and daughters, right? Another way we give away our sons and daughters, right? Just like Officer Tazo was saying with the school institution, is Christianity, right? Yeah, it's Christianity. You understand? When we send our children to the church, we literally give them away. You understand? We give them away to the white man. You understand? Because their minds are somewhat unreachable. You understand? Right? And thank the Most High for the truth to be able to bring back some of our people, right? And thanks to Commanding GEN.YAHANNA standing strong, right? And defending the port for us. You understand? Right? All the generals who stood up with him, understand? Who stood in the streets taking maple bottles, understand? Not knowing if the camp would move from 7 men, understand? And now what should the ISUPK has reached today under command of GEN.YAHANNA. Right? Thank the Most High for that. Right? We even give away our children when they go into the Muslim mosque, into Islam. You understand? We give our children to the Arabs. That is the Islam is not our religion. You understand where I'm coming from? But yet still, our children coming up, growing up in the Muslim religion, traveling to Mecca. You understand? Some of them taking the last cash they have to try to make the trip. You understand? To go to Mecca thinking, well, that is the savior. You understand? And not knowing it's a lie. And we sending our children into these religious organizations thinking, well, they would become somebody better. You understand? When they in fact becoming worse. You understand? Because they're totally moving away from the laws, the statutes and commandments of the Most High. Right? Right? And another thing that is even prevalent in Trinidad here, you understand, is Egyptology. You understand? Everybody believe there's African. Yeah, you understand? Everybody believe there's African. Not knowing that we blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the true Jews of the Bible, the Israelites of the Bible. You understand? And our children growing up thinking there's African. So we literally give our children to the Africans through these religious organizations such as Egyptology and things like that. Understand? So come on, right? So read back from the top of verse 16, Officer Yaka. Yeah, not 16, sorry, 32.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them.
All right, they say your eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long. So when we send them in these different religions, right, our eyes will fail with longing for them, because now when you send your child in Christianity, understand, and the pastor tell them God love everybody and he can do what he wants, understand, and he becomes a murderer and a drug dealer, a rapist or a homosexual, understand. Now you're looking with longing for them, because when you watch your son or your daughter turn a homosexual, that is not your son. He was never born a homosexual or born a rapist, understand, or born a murderer or a drug dealer or adulterer. Understand? Now you're looking for it have a local term that is used. Understand? Like if I see a friend or a partner, you say, by long time I see you, boy, how it changed so, boy? You understand? You want to know where the old you is. You understand where I'm coming from? You understand? Because now Christianity has changed them into and morphed their minds into something totally different. You understand? So your eyes fill with longing for them. Right? You miss so when your son was 6. You understand? And you're growing up and he calling you daddy. You understand where I'm coming from? And he was growing up to be a man. Now you're hearing him growing up to be a woman. You understand? Because of the Christian church. You understand? Right? So and even we have things like police brutality. You understand? Right? Our children falling victim to the system, going to jail. You understand? Some of them spending their whole life in jail. You understand? I have a personal neighbor, probably this is about the 3rd time going to jail. You understand? His life literally going down in the jail. You understand? Right? And his parents now will fail because they never know what it is to have him outside as a son, as a grown man, to say this is my son. Because right through, he fallen victim to the system and going into prison. Right? So our eyes will fail with longing for them all the day long, right? Continue.
And fail, Slakia.
That's the end of verse 32? Well.
And fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in their hand.
All right, they say this. That say there shall be no might in your hands, right? So you literally won't be able to do nothing about it. You understand? Your child gets sent to prison. Case closed. You understand? The most you could do is drop toothpaste and a toothbrush and probably a pants, a short pants. That is it. You understand? To get justice, now when the justice system is pretty hard. You understand where I'm coming from? Right? And especially for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Because they're literally fighting against the nations, against white supremacy. Right? If you could, right? It's an article. Right? I will define type check out state witness skill in Trinidad. Let's go check this. All right. So we have no might in our hands to fight against the oppression, right, of these nations, unless we come back to the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. That is the only way we can function in the society. So that is the only way we could battle against white supremacy, right?
So I guess so.
Go ahead.
When I go to talk about that, it's like some years ago, remember, like when the chief fellas who escaped from the prison, right? When I seen that the case in court, right? And not with them escaping.
Oh, that was a recent report when they escape and they say that the case taking too long to try.
And recently another one come and happen again and also again.
Yeah, because the justice system failed them. And that's where I'm coming from, right? You in jail waiting for your case to call, and it's 5, 6, 7, 8 years. And understand? So some of them reach as much as 10 years, and the case still in court yet. And understand? So the justice system totally failed them. All right? Go ahead.
Same point you're touching on, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
And even when like the case goes too long, and then a man sit down in jail and you apply or ask, and his case be moved to high court.
Right.
Every time, it's supposed to be a more serious manner dealing it.
Yeah, take the gate speed up now. Yeah. Right.
Every time that a person does not get that hearing, or the person doesn't come, or whatever it is, no witness with the police, and them very delinquent. You wouldn't bring the person, wouldn't get the information, and sometimes the police themselves hide it because it's a set of cases that not the person on for many different reasons.
Right.
And so there's a lot of men suffering in the jail on that.
Right.
Every time they apply to what they call judging chambers.
Yeah.
It's a 6-month period, so each you imagine that, so it's twice a year.
Yeah.
For the most.
Yeah. So
until the case move from the regular case to the high court.
Yeah.
Twice per year.
Yeah. So the time frame is long and tedious.
Yes.
That's right. That's right. Come on. All right. You find anything on the state witness?
Yes, so like I said, have gunman murder female state witness in Ontario.
No, the one in Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz?
Yeah. Just type in Santa Cruz, you should find it. State witness in you well?
The female state witness was gunned down in Santa Cruz. This afternoon, police officers are currently on the scene. According to preliminary.
Just read a little louder. Yeah, come on.
The female state witness was gunned down in Santa Cruz this afternoon. Police officers are currently on the scene. According to preliminary reports, at about 2:45, the woman was walking along Santa Cruz, Barataria Boulevard, Santa Cruz, when the white wagon pulled up along Side Hill, and gunmen with rifles opened fire. She was killed at the scene.
All right, hold it right there, right? Keep your ears there, right? Right. So this was a state witness, right? From an earlier case, right? She became a state witness, and this was probably about 5 days ago, right? She was murdered, right? Walking her child home from a graduation, right? And right, when with all witnesses saw was a white wagon pulling up, right, and men opening fire with what they allegedly say is rifles, right, and killing on the spot, right. Continue.
Police are waiting on relatives to arrive on the scene. However, Guardian Media was told that the woman was on her way home after attending her son's graduation.
Anything else? That's the night?
Yeah.
All right. Right. So she became a state witness after I think she got shot, and then she became a state witness to give evidence on her case, and eventually they catch up with she and she get murdered, right? After coming out the graduation with her son, right? And it ended up making a big news story because the child was such in shock, and understand that when she died on the road with all the blood, the child still hugging she up. You understand? And that is what we're talking about when it comes to justice. Right? We have no might in our hands. You understand? We literally dependent on whatever judgment we get from the system. You understand? So that is why we really need to start to come back to the laws, statute, and commandments of the Most High. All right? Go ahead.
Like many other places, the influence of white supremacy, the influence of the devil on the earth. All through the Caribbean and other places we see him because still being a state was supposed to be protection for.
That's right.
So in other words, the police now give out the information to the men.
That's right.
The police themselves may have killed the young woman.
Because a state witness is supposed to be protected, and
Like
go ahead.
Sometimes it's because of Christianity we have that fool's paradise of believing that we will get justice from our oppressors, but we will never get justice from our oppressors. Christianity.
Right. So from there, obviously, I want to go to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 49.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, and from one and from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
All right. So let's say you just send a nation against thee, right? Read from the top again.
The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth.
All right. You see, as swift as the eagle flieth, right? Right. I want to look up, man. The eagle of the Holy Roman Empire. Yeah. Right. So this nation that coming against thee, right, as swift as the eagle. So this nation coming with strength and might, right?
God.
Or you could switch up the coat of arms of the Holy Roman Empire.
Like I said, I have one here, which is the Holy Roman Empire eagle. This is the flags.
It have anything on it?
Yeah, kind. The flag of the Holy Roman Empire was not a national flag, but rather an imperial banner used by the Holy Roman Emperor. Black and gold were used as the colors of the imperial banner. A black eagle on a golden background.
So we'll say a black eagle on a golden background, right? Go ahead.
After the late 13th century or early 14th century, the claws and beak of the eagle were colored red.
Anything else?
In 1804, slap here. Okay. In 1804, Napoleon Bonaparte declared the First French Empire in response to Emperor Francis II of Habsburg dynasty, declared his personal domain to be the Austrian Empire.
All right, drop that, right? Here, what way to do for me? You're typing in the coat of arms of the Holy Roman Empire. Right, and you will see that this eagle stem from way back and have always been the symbol of the white man. Find anything? Go ahead. Yeah, you can read it.
Coat of arms of the Holy Roman Empire. Over its long history, the Holy Roman Empire used many different heraldic forms representing its numerous and internal divisions. Coats of arms. Like the Zlinda imperial eagle was heraldic eagle derived from Roman eagle standard used by the Holy Roman emperors and in modern coats of arms of Germany, including those of the Second German Empire.
That's right. So through the Roman Empire, right? They use the symbol of the eagle, right? Right? And then now coming up, they say the Germans used to use the eagle as well, and all right. Now what way to do, right? Is to search for me all countries, right, that use the eagle as their symbol. And you will see how this stem from way back. Yeah, go ahead. They will get like a list of countries. See anything like that? Yeah? That's right. Go ahead.
United States.
Yeah, just speak up a little bit. United States.
Albania. Austria. Mexico. Montenegro. Philippines. Poland, Romania. I know for sure, and Portugal as well.
Right.
Germany.
Come on. Yeah. And the thing about all these countries carrying the symbol of the eagle, right? Which is all of them is literally the white man. And when you look at places like Mexico, right, they end up with the symbol because Mexico was conquered by the Spanish conquistadors, so they carry the symbol of the eagle. Understand? So it's either is a country of the white man or the country get conquered. You understand? So they continue carrying that symbol of the eagle, right? You could go back to the scripture and read from the top.
Okay. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from one end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flies.
All right. So the come down on us swift as the eagle from one end of the earth. All right. Come. Go ahead.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
All right. So when they come to us, we didn't understand the tongue. You understand? The Spanish conquistadors speaking Spanish. You understand? Right? Or Latin. We didn't speak that. You understand? The true Jews of the Bible spoke Hebrew.
That's right.
Right? Go ahead.
Verse 50. A nation of fierce countenance.
A nation of fierce countenance. All through history, right? It documented that the white man committed all kind of atrocities, right? From the slave trade, every country the white man encounter, right? He bring destruction, to that place, right? In order to implement things like democracy and bring white supremacy, right? Continue.
A fierce nation, like a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard person of the old, nor shew favor to the young.
All right. So they don't regard person of the old, nor show favor to the young. You understand? Just look at today. You understand? When you're watching American all over, because right now all over have different right. When you go to all the different news channels all over America, England, Australia, wherever that country is, right? The white man shows no regard for the old or the young. You understand? Young people getting jacked up by the police, old people getting jacked up by the police, middle-aged people getting murdered by the police, young people getting murdered by the police, old people getting it. So it had no limit. You understand? Right? When you go to all slavery, babies they used to cut the mothers and cut the babies out of the belly. You understand? And then take the baby and bash it against that tree. You understand? That is how brutal the white man could be. You understand? All right. Continue.
Verse 51.
So like verse 51. All right, you can drop that, right? I want to go from there. You're going to I want to read Deuteronomy 28 and 46. Go back down to 46.
Verse 46. And there shall be upon thee for a sign.
All right. So this talking about the curses, right? So it's saying now these curses, wherever you go in the world, right? These curses will be upon thee for a sign, right? Look up the word sign for me. Babakasha. So don't matter where we go, understand where we are in the world. They said these curses shall be upon thee for a sign. Yeah, go ahead, Officer Tazon.
All right. A piece of paper, wood, etc., with words or pictures on it.
All right.
That gives information about something.
Go ahead.
Second definition. Something such as an action or event which shows that something else exists, is true, or will happen.
All right. Read over the second definition again.
Something such as an action or event.
All right. So something such as an action or event. Go ahead.
Which shows that something else exists.
Which shows that something else exists.
Is true.
Or will happen. Or will happen. You understand? And this was an event that is true. You understand? And the Most High, right, put these curses upon the children of Israel if they did not listen to the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. This is how you will know them. All where you go, don't matter what country you travel to, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians will be under these curses. Understand? Continue with the scripture.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
And say it shall be on thee as a sign and as a wonder upon thy seed forever. Understand? So the more we don't listen to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, right? The more we don't listen to the more we don't listen to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, right? These curses will be upon us, right? And everybody, once they track the records of the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, which is the Bible, they will know that these are the Israelites of the Bible. Understand? We are the Israelites of the Bible, right? But I still count up on the time there, right? So I want to jump to Deuteronomy 28 and verse 60. Go to 68.
68?
Yeah.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
All right. So you say the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again, right? With ships, right? The word Egypt right? Is a Greek word. It means is Egyptos in the Greek, and the word means bondage, right? So the Lord shall bring thee into bondage again
with ships.
With ships, right? The most noted event that happened in history is the Atlantic slave trade. Understand? We were brought into bondage again with ships, right? The Arabs and the Africans sold us to the white man, right? And the white man brought us over into the Caribbean and to the Americas as slaves, right? And even the native Indians, when the Spanish conquistadors came and to their land, right? They captured them and took them back to Europe, and they went to Europe as slaves, right? So both ends was just raw slavery, right? Continue.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
All right. So the Most High telling you the same way he said what happened is the same way going to happen, basically, right? And he said, "Thou shalt see it." Read about the last part.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
All right. Thou shalt see it no more again. Right? Continue.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
All right. So the part when I say thou shalt see it no more again, we will never see our homeland no more again, right? After the destruction of Jerusalem in 70 AD, you can find that information in the book of Babylon to Timbuktu, right? After the destruction of Jerusalem in 70 AD, the Jews, right, over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, right? And from there now, we were sold by the Arabs and the Africans to the white man and get sold into slavery, right? So the homeland, right, of the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians is not Africa. The homeland is Jerusalem, right? It's Israel, right? And I say we will see our homeland no more. And even though today, understand, we can still take a plane and go back in Israel, it will never be the same. You understand? It will never be the same how we left it, right? Right. So read about that part again.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
Yeah, go ahead, continue.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
So the Most High, through Moses, saying, we will be sold unto our enemies, right? If the Arabs, right, and the Africans sell us to our enemies, who is our enemies?
So like I said,
Go ahead.
the white man.
That's right. Understand? So we were sold into slavery by our enemies, and all the nations literally had a time with us, right? Because all through the Bible, right, we get sold into slavery. Understand? So when I tell you the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of, and you know, some people when they hear don't mix some with the other nations, separate. Understand? We don't know that we're dealing with our enemies, right? So the white man is our enemies. Well,
and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen.
All right, bondmen and bondwomen just literally means slave men and slave women go into slavery, right? So from since this time in Deuteronomy, right, the Most High was telling us if we do not keep the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, we will serve the other nations, basically, and that is what happening today. We are in servitude to the other nations, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, right? And through these curses, this is how we know we are the Israelites of the Bible, because these signs lay upon us wherever we go, wherever country we in, understand, wherever the ghettos, the slums, wherever, these curses are upon us and upon these people, right? Finish it up.
And no man shall buy you.
And no man can redeem you. Understand? Martin Luther King couldn't redeem me. Understand? Malcolm X couldn't redeem me. Understand? Jesse Jackson, all them religious preachers and Black Power movement, none of them could have redeemed us. Understand? Because only through the power of the laws and commandments of the Most High, we we could be there deliver out of this. You understand? And under commanding General Yahanna, we on the way out. You understand? We on the way back to the Most High. Right? So I just before I end the class, I just like to say to continue to support the school, continue to pay tithes, right? And with that, we will pass the class over to Priest and Officer Tazawa. Yeah. Yeah. Right. We'll have to do the Lord's Prayer.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Imagine.
No. Security announcements.
Salaki, right?
Yeah.
Security announcements, right? Salaki. We are the I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commandant General Yahanna. New rules for brothers and sisters: when a new brother or a sister comes into the school, they are off limit for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After the 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers chapter 18 and verse 21 and Malachi chapter 3 verses 8 to 10. Means tenth in Hebrew and it's pronounced ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. The priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you like to give. Upcoming holy convocations, is the blowing of trumpets, Saturday, September the 28th at sundown. All right, so you want to get connected with your school, in your school in your area, reach out and find out about the cookouts as well that happening in August. One in New York, and in July, the 23rd around there, the 23rd about the 27th in Chicago, the Midwest Fire Weekend. You want to find out about that, how to get connected with the brothers and sisters. You know, you might have people across in Chicago, the Midwest area. You know, you come in and find out how you could get connected and learn about your culture, what you're supposed to be doing as an Israelite, your responsibilities, all right? Okay, remind Akim and Akwakian to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If your brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he has to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, like shirts, like pants, like headband, or scarf. Or that imagine, you tell them, and this is to the Lord's Prayer. Yeah. Okay. Abanao, Shabashemaya, Wadash, Aya, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Tabaa, Ratazaka, Aya, Aisha, Barataza, Kawa, Aya, Washamai, Panlanao, Lakam, Ka, Yawam, Wasalakno, Watnao, Kasalatno, Kawabatinao, Wala'a, Tabaya Bonasaya one, Abal, Awashino, Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Laka, Wahala, Watapara, I will Aman.
What we just said in the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it.
All right. All right. We're going to give the teacher a courtesy salute. All right, men of vigil, Salakia. Imagine Shabbat. Imagine Barak. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Hashem. Yachimata. Class dismissed.